So we were discussing that resistance increases with increasing temperature, but this condition is valid only on the certain conductors only, not the total range of conductors. It is valid in case of solid conductors like metals, but this case is not valid in case of electrolytes and semiconductors. So in case of electrolytes, resistance decreases with increasing temperature. Likewise, in semiconductors also, resistance decreases with increasing temperature. And these two conditions, they don't follow Ohm's law. These two, they don't follow Ohm's law. So we are going to categorize the conductors into two parts. The first, which are ohmic conductor, another which are non-ohmic conductor. The ohmic conductor are those conductor which follows Ohm's law and their resistance increases with increase in temperature. Example, any metallic conductor you can take: iron, aluminium, etc. Non-ohmic conductor, these conductor don't follow the Ohm's law. And their resistance does not increase with increasing temperature. So I should write decreases with increase in temperature. Okay, the one of the most important thing that we must understand, what is the meaning of the Ohm's law here. In ohmic conductor, they follow Ohm's law. It means that in those conductors, their potential difference and the current will be directly proportional to each other. But in this case, this is not happening. The V and I are not proportional to each other. Okay, so they are exponentially related. We are not going so much deep in class 10th, but we must keep in mind. The second thing, here we have written that resistance increases with increasing temperature. It doesn't mean that resistance is directly proportional to temperature. Okay, so it has a linear equation, linear dependence of resistance on temperature. Okay, but it is not the directly proportional. So we must keep in mind that resistance increases with increasing temperature, and here also resistance decreases with decreases with increasing temperature. So the example of non-ohmic conductors are electrolytes, second semiconductors, etc. The LEDs, we can write the diodes, all are the example of non-ohmic conductor. Okay, so now to the very next, we are going to discuss the graph of V versus I. V stands for potential difference, I standing for electric current. Okay, and after this very much short introduction to the graph, we will be solving some numerical problems. Okay, so graph of V versus a different parchment. Ohm's law gives the equation v is equals to I times r. So now we are going to learn some graph techniques, equation of a straight line, which will be too much handy for us to know. And actually we should learn the technique of reading the graphs also regarding the straight lines. So I will be discussing all these things in quite details. Okay, so equation of a straight line may be given as y is equals to mx plus c, where y is for the y coordinate, x is for the x coordinate, and m stands for the slope, and c, we will be discussing what is this value of c over here. Okay, suppose that I have a Cartesian plane over here. This horizontal is my x-axis, this is y-axis, this is positive x-axis, negative x-axis, we are knowing it everything. Okay, suppose we have a straight line which is not passing through the origin, like this. So it is intersecting the y-axis at some point. This point is my C, and my slope. How can I define my slope? Slope can be defined as change in y-axis divided by change in x-axis. Or simply, what we mean by change in y-axis divided by change in x-axis, that if we are going to plot the graph of v versus I, the slope will represent another physical quantity. We will get over that. Okay, but we should keep in mind, if equation of line is y is equals to mx plus c, then m stands for the slope. We can understand the slope by the inclination with respect to the x-axis. So just for the rough notation, suppose that this is a graph and we have different straight lines. This is 1, this is 2, I'm using another, and this is 3. Then the slope will be more if the inclination of the straight line is more. It means that slope of 1 is the smallest, slope of 2 is greater than slope of 1, and slope of 3 is greatest among all these three. If I draw here and I name it 4, then slope of 4 will be most. We can understand it by the inclination. Inclination of 1 is less and hence its slope. Inclination of 2 is greater than 1 but smaller than 2, and hence its slope will be greater than 1 but smaller than 3. In case of 3, its inclination is greater than 2 but smaller than 4, and hence its slope will be greater than 2 but smaller than 4. Okay, so now comparing these two equations, equation of a straight line says y is equals to mx plus c, and Ohm's law says v is equals to IR. For better comparison, I am writing it here 0. This part is just for comparison. I should write it in a different way so that you should not get confused. I am writing plus 0 with another colored pen. Okay, if I denote this v on y-axis and this I on x-axis, this is y-axis, this is x-axis. I am comparing these two equations. This v on y-axis, this x will represent my current I. Now, what is the value of C? The value of C is 0. So, my this graph, this point should pass through the origin like this, whose slope should be equal to, as I told you here, slope is change in y divided by change in x, change in y axis divided by change in x axis. So what we are representing on y axis here, we can take any part of this curve. In y axis we are representing potential difference, and on x axis we are representing current. So my slope will be v by I, which is equal to, as we do know, resistance. So the slope of v versus I graph gives resistance. Just have a look on it. I'm saying it once more. From the Ohm's law, we have V is equals to IR. For the better comparison, I have written here plus 0, but this is totally optional. So if V is equals to IR, and if we are plotting V on y-axis, I on x-axis, then the slope will be equal to the resistance of the conductor. So from this we can know that slope denotes resistance of the conductor, and for different conductors we can have the different values. So now I'm doing it a form of question answer form. Compare the resistance of A, B, C and D. Okay, and the graph I'm going to draw here like this. You have been provided a V versus I graph in this question. This is origin, and we have to compare the resistance of A, B, C and D. I'm naming it in different way. I'm naming it A, this graph, B, C and D. As we do know now, we have to apply knowledge of graph in this question. So as we do know that slope of curve gives resistance, then now we can figure it out whose slope is the greatest. Either it is B, C, A or D. Obviously the inclination is more in case of D, so the resistance of D will be the greatest. The next smaller resistance will be, very good, RA, the next RC, and the smallest resistance will be RB. So this is the correct sequence in decreasing order. If you wish, you can arrange it in increasing order also. Okay, so proceeding to the another numerical problem, and in this question I will be discussing about the Ohm's law, some numerical from the Ohm's law. Okay, so if possible, let me find it out in okay, there isn't any okay, so this is example 12.3. think so, page number 208. Page number 208 from your NCERT book. Okay. So the question says, how much current will an electric bulb draw from 220 volt source if resistance of the bulb filament is 1200 ohm? Okay, this is the first bit. How much current will an electric heater coil draw from 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm? Okay, so in this question there are two bits. The question one, how much current will an electric bulb draw from a 220 volt source? So the potential difference V has been given to you. It is 220 volt and the resistance is given 1200 ohms. Okay. So what do I have to calculate? I have to calculate the current. Now since from Ohm's law, as we do know that V is equals to I times R, so I can write I is equals to V divided by R. And what is the value of V here? 220 divided by 1200. So I think so it should come around. So okay, if you wish you can do some rough work over here. Okay, this one will be 220 divided by 1200, 00 getting cancelled, 11/60. So this will be near about, I think so, 0.18 ampere. Okay, so this was the first bit. You can do the calculations rest over. Okay, next bit B of the same question. How much current will an electric heater coil will draw from 220 volt source if the resistance of the heater coil is 100 ohm? Okay, now in this particular question, the potential difference is same, 220 volts, and the resistance has been given 100 ohm. By using the same technique from Ohm's law, I can write V is equals to IR. I will be equal to V divided by R, which will be equal to, in place of V, it will be 220 volt divided by 100 ohm, and it will be 2.2 ampere. Okay, so it's done. Okay, so now example 12.4 will be your assignment. Example 12.4 of the same page. Okay, thank you.